the problem of permanence and change in life, and how rational emotive behavior therapy can help. Before becoming a psychotherapist, I got my doctorate in philosophy. Over the years, I have been amazed at how the problems addressed by the early Greek philosophers, which may sound irrelevant and archaic today, show up in my psychotherapy sessions with clients. For example, a philosophical issue called the Parmenidean-Heraclitean problem touches a fundamental problem of life with which many of us confront. Parmenides took the position that change in life is merely an illusion, there is a fundamental permanence or sameness to life, whereas Heraclitus took the opposite position and said that permanence is an illusion and that life is constantly changing, constantly in flux. Thus, the problem of permanence versus change, or the Parmenidean-Heraclitean problem. I know that it sounds abstract, weird, and irrelevant to life, but it is frequently experienced in our lives. For example, when I look in the mirror in the morning to brush my teeth, I am never surprised at what I see. I don't freak out and say who was substituted for me during the evening and is pretending to be me. I have a sense of permanence about myself. However, when I consider my appearance over time, I do see change: less hair on my head, more wrinkles, baggier eyelids, and on and on. There is definite change. There is both permanence and change. Let's move forward to the issues my clients often bring up in sessions. Some struggle with meaning in life and say they feel weighed down by the ponderous sameness of their lives. Nothing seems to change. The problems of the past just seem to continue. These clients often feel hopeless and helpless to change and wonder whether change is even possible. Some say that they were born the way they are and nothing has changed. On the other hand, some clients appear in therapy feeling overwhelmed by the major changes they are confronting in their lives. For example, their sweet child is now running with a wild crowd and experimenting with drugs. More work is dumped on them by a demanding boss, or just as they get used to overcoming one health issue, another appears. Seeing permanence can be problematic, as is seeing change. What is going on? This is a huge discussion, but let's consider a couple of points that might help. 1. Perhaps as Aristotle, another Greek philosopher, thought as he tried to settle the problem of permanence and change, there is both permanence and change. Perhaps if clients consider this resolution, it might help, but perhaps not. There is a psychological issue with which we all deal, and that is confirmation bias. Once we form a belief, we tend to seek data in our environment to confirm our belief. For example, when I believe that I am a failure, I overly focus on events in my life that support me as a failure, but ignore or discount all the data that confirm my successes in life. So, perhaps clients who feel depressed by the seeming permanence in life are biased to see permanence and discount change. The same for those who are biased to perceive change and no permanence. In rational emotive behavior therapy, we talk about our beliefs about situations and events that can either give rise to helpful emotions or unhelpful emotions. If someone has confirmation bias toward perceiving permanence, and the individual also has a belief that this permanence shouldn't be in their life and that it is horrible, unbearable, and life is thereby meaningless and simply a walk through the valley of boredom, this individual experiences unhelpful negative emotions about the perceived sameness in life, emotions such as depression. Similarly, if an individual has confirmation bias toward seeing change and holds unhelpful beliefs about this change, the individual might experience unhelpful emotions about that change. For example, the individual might think that there should not be just change in life, and the fact that this is what they perceive to them is awful, unbearable, and that life is overwhelming. Such an individual might experience anxiety, fear, depression, or more. Rational emotive behavior therapy fortunately gives us techniques and interventions to help us change beliefs that yield very painful and unhelpful emotions. I guess one could say that it gives us psychological means to overcome the Parmenidean-Heraclitean problem. For more information on rational emotive behavior therapy and how it may help you in your life or in the life of your clients, consider going to the website of the Albert Ellis Institute, or subscribing to this channel, RBT Education and Training.